Your life is a masterpiece in the making. Every day, you add new brushstrokes to the canvas of your existence. But here's a question that might change everything. Are you so fixated on the finished painting that you're missing the joy of creation? In our fast-paced world, we're conditioned to chase after results. We set goals, we make plans, we work tirelessly to achieve them. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Goals can give us direction, plans can provide structure. But when we become obsessed with the end result, we risk losing sight of something far more valuable, the journey itself. Think about it. When was the last time you truly savored the process of working towards something? When did you last find joy in the simple act of learning, growing, and improving? If you're like most people, it's been a while. We've become so focused on reaching our destinations that we've forgotten to enjoy the ride. But what if I told you that the key to true success and fulfillment lies not in the results you achieve, but in the person you become along the way? What if the real treasure isn't waiting for you at the end of your journey, but is hidden in plain sight in the very steps you take each day? This idea might seem counterintuitive at first. After all, we live in a world that worships results. We celebrate the gold medalists, the billionaires, the overnight successes. But here's a secret that most people miss. Those successes weren't built overnight. They were built day by day, hour by hour, through consistent effort and unwavering focus on the process of improvement. Let me share a story with you. There was once a young musician who dreamed of becoming a virtuoso violinist. Every day she would practice for hours, pushing herself to master difficult pieces. But no matter how hard she tried, she always felt she fell short. She would listen to recordings of great violinists in despair, thinking she would never reach their level. One day, her teacher, a renowned violinist himself, noticed her frustration. He asked her, "Why do you play the violin?" The young musician was taken aback. She had never really thought about it. After a moment, she replied, "To become the best violinist in the world." Her teacher smiled kindly and said, "That's your problem right there. You're so focused on becoming the best that you've forgotten why you started playing in the first place. Do you remember the joy you felt when you first picked up the violin? The thrill of creating music? The satisfaction of mastering a new technique?" The young musician nodded slowly, memories flooding back. "That," her teacher said, "is what you need to focus on. Not on being the best, but on loving music, on enjoying every note you play, on finding satisfaction in your daily practice. Do that, and not only will you find more joy in your music, but you'll also become a far better violinist than you ever imagined." This story illustrates a profound truth. When we shift our focus from results to process, everything changes. Suddenly, every day becomes an opportunity for growth. Every challenge becomes a chance to learn. Every setback becomes a stepping stone to improvement. But how do we make this shift? How do we learn to value the journey as much as, if not more than, the destination? It starts with a change in mindset. Instead of asking yourself, "What do I want to achieve?" start asking, "Who do I want to become?" Instead of setting outcome goals, set process goals. Instead of measuring your success by your achievements, measure it by your effort and improvement. Let's break this down with a practical example. Say you're an entrepreneur looking to grow your business. A results-focused approach might have you fixating on revenue targets or market share. You might set a goal like increase revenue by 50 in the next year. And while there's nothing wrong with having such a goal, it can lead to stress, anxiety, and a sense of failure if you don't hit that exact number. Now consider a process-focused approach. Instead of obsessing over that 50 revenue increase, you might focus on providing more value to your customers every single day. You might set goals like spend an hour each day improving our product, or have meaningful conversations with 5 customers every week to understand their needs better. See the difference? The first approach ties your sense of success to an outcome that's largely out of your control. The second approach focuses on actions you can take consistently, regardless of external factors. The beauty of focusing on the process is that it puts you in control. You can't always control the results you get, but you can always control the effort you put in. You can control your attitude, your actions, your habits. And over time, these daily choices add up to create extraordinary results. But there's more to it than just achieving your goals. When you focus on the process, you find joy in the journey itself. You learn to appreciate the small victories, the daily progress, the incremental improvements. You develop patience and persistence. You build resilience in the face of setbacks. And most importantly, you cultivate a growth mindset, a belief that you can always learn, always improve, always become better. The most successful people you know or admire, I'm willing to bet that they didn't achieve their success overnight. They didn't wake up one day and suddenly find themselves at the top. No, their success was the result of consistent effort over time. It was the result of showing up day after day, putting in the work, honing their skills, and gradually improving. Take any great athlete, for example. They don't become champions by focusing solely on winning medals. They become champions by focusing on their training, on perfecting their technique, on pushing their limits every single day. They understand that success is not about the occasional heroic effort, but about the consistent application of discipline and hard work. The same principle applies in every area of life. Want to build a successful career? Focus on developing your skills, on providing value to your employer or clients, on building strong relationships with your colleagues. Want to improve your relationships? Focus on being present, on listening actively, on showing kindness and compassion in your daily interactions. Want to achieve financial freedom? Focus on developing good financial habits, on educating yourself about money management, on making wise decisions day in and day out. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but isn't it important to have goals? Don't we need something to aim for? And you're absolutely right. Goals are important. They give us direction, they motivate us, they help us measure our progress. But here's the key. Your goals should inform your process, not dominate your thinking. Think of your goals as a compass, not a GPS. A compass gives you a general direction, but it doesn't dictate every step of your journey. It allows you to explore, to take detours, to discover new paths. Similarly, your goals should guide your actions, but they shouldn't consume your thoughts. Once you've set your goals, put them aside and focus on the daily actions that will move you in the right direction. This shift in focus from results to process also helps us deal with failure in a healthier way. When we're obsessed with results, failure can be devastating. It can shake our confidence, crush our motivation, and make us want to give up. But when we focus on the process, failure becomes a learning opportunity. It becomes data that we can use to improve our approach. It becomes a stepping stone on the path to success. Remember, every great achievement in history was preceded by countless failures. Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." He understood that each failed attempt was not a setback, but a step forward. Each experiment taught him something new, brought him closer to his goal. And it was his focus on the process of invention rather than on the end result that allowed him to persist in the face of repeated setbacks. So how can we cultivate this process-focused mindset in our daily lives? Here are some strategies you can start implementing today. First, start each day by setting process goals. Instead of thinking about what you want to achieve, think about what you want to do. What actions can you take today that will move you in the right direction? Maybe it's making 3 sales calls, writing 500 words, or spending an hour learning a new skill. Whatever it is, make it specific and actionable. Second, keep a progress journal. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on what you've done. What did you learn? What challenges did you overcome? What small victories did you achieve? This practice helps you recognize and appreciate your daily progress, which can be incredibly motivating. Third, celebrate effort, not just outcomes. When you or someone else accomplishes something, don't just praise the result. Acknowledge the hard work, the perseverance, the creativity that went into it. This helps reinforce the value of the process itself. Fourth, embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. When you encounter difficulties, don't see them as obstacles to your goals. See them as chances to learn, to improve, to become stronger. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this make me better? Fifth, practice mindfulness. Learn to be present in the moment, to fully engage with whatever you're doing. Whether you're working on a project, having a conversation, or even doing household chores, give it your full attention. This not only improves the quality of your work, but also helps you find joy in the process itself. Six, develop a love for learning. Cultivate curiosity about your field, about the world around you. Read widely, ask questions, seek out new experiences. When you fall in love with the process of learning and growth, you'll never run out of motivation. Seventh, surround yourself with process-focused people. The people we spend time with have a huge influence on our mindset. Seek out friends, mentors, and colleagues who understand the value of hard work, who appreciate the journey as much as the destination. 8. Practice patience. Remember that meaningful change takes time. Don't expect overnight success. Instead, trust in the power of consistent effort over time. As the saying goes, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. 9th, learn to enjoy the plateau. Progress isn't always linear. There will be times when you feel stuck, when you can't see any improvement. But these plateaus are often where the most important growth happens. It's where you develop persistence, where you refine your skills, where you build the foundation for your next breakthrough. And finally, remember that the process never ends. There's no final destination in personal growth and success. There's always room for improvement, always new heights to reach. Embrace this fact. Let it excite you rather than overwhelm you. Because it means that every day is a new opportunity to grow, to learn to become a better version of yourself. Now let's dig deeper into why focusing on the process is so powerful. When you shift your attention from results to process, you tap into a source of motivation that's far more sustainable than the pursuit of external rewards. You see, when you're solely focused on results, you're setting yourself up for a roller coaster of emotions. If you achieve your goal, you experience a brief high, followed by the pressure to set and achieve an even bigger goal. If you fall short, you feel like a failure, even if you've made significant progress. It's a cycle that can lead to burnout, disappointment, and a constant feeling of not being good enough. But when you focus on the process, you create a different dynamic. You find satisfaction in the work itself, in the act of showing up every day and giving your best effort. You develop a sense of pride in your commitment, your discipline, your willingness to learn and grow. This intrinsic motivation is far more powerful and lasting than any external reward. Moreover, the process focus allows you to enjoy the present moment rather than always living for some future achievement. It helps you find meaning and purpose in your daily activities rather than constantly postponing your happiness to some future date when you've... If you're a writer working on a novel and you're solely focused on getting it published and becoming a best-selling author, you're likely to find the daily act of writing a chore. You might rush through it, always anxious about whether your work is good enough, whether it will be successful. But if you focus on the process of writing itself, on crafting beautiful sentences, on developing interesting characters, on telling a compelling story, you're likely to find joy in the work itself. And ironically, this approach is more likely to result in a book that resonates with readers. The same principle applies in any field. If you're an athlete, focusing on the process means finding satisfaction in your training, in the gradual improvement of your skills, in the discipline of showing up day after day. If you're a business owner, it means taking pride in providing value to your customers, in building a great team, in solving interesting problems. But here's the really interesting thing. When you focus on the process, you often achieve better results than if you had focused on the results themselves. This might seem paradoxical, but it makes sense when you think about it. When you're obsessed with results, you're more likely to take shortcuts, to prioritize short-term gains over long-term growth. You might be tempted to cut corners, to sacrifice quality for speed, to prioritize appearance over substance. But when you focus on the process, you naturally prioritize quality, continuous improvement, and sustainable growth. Let's look at another example to illustrate this point. Imagine two students preparing for an important exam. The first student is solely focused on getting an A. She crams for hours, memorizing facts without truly understanding them. She's stressed, anxious, and views studying as a necessary evil. The second student, while also hoping for a good grade, focuses on the process of learning. She's genuinely interested in material, asks questions, seeks to understand rather than just memorize. She views studying as an opportunity to grow her knowledge and skills. Which student do you think is more likely to perform well on the exam? And more importantly, which student is more likely to retain the knowledge long after the exam is over? Which one is developing habits and skills that will serve them well in future academic pursuits and in life? The answer is clear. The process-focused student is not only more likely to perform well, but is also gaining far more from the experience. She's developing a love for learning, critical thinking skills, and a growth mindset that will serve her well far beyond this single exam. This example demonstrates another key benefit of focusing on the process. It leads to deeper, more meaningful learning and growth. When you're focused solely on results, you're more likely to engage in shallow learning, memorizing just enough to pass the test, so to speak. But when you focus on the process, you engage in deep learning. You seek to understand, not just to know. You develop skills, not just acquire information. You grow as a person, not just as a performer. Now let's address a common misconception about focusing on the process. Some people worry that if they stop focusing on results, they'll lose their drive, their ambition. They fear they'll become complacent or unproductive. But nothing could be further from the truth. Focusing on the process doesn't mean you don't care about results. It doesn't mean you lower your standards or stop striving for excellence. On the contrary, a process focus often leads to higher standards and greater achievement. Because when you focus on the process, you're not just working towards a single goal. You're committed to continuous improvement, to becoming better every single day. Some of the most successful people in any field, athletes like Michael Jordan or Serena Williams, entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk, artists like Pablo Picasso or Maya Angelou. What sets these individuals apart is not just their achievements, but their relentless commitment to their craft. Their focus on continuous improvement, their willingness to put in the work day after day, year after year. These individuals didn't achieve greatness by fixating on results. They achieved greatness by falling in love with the process of becoming great. They found joy in the daily grind, in the constant pursuit of improvement. They understood that true success is not about reaching a destination, but about growing, learning, and becoming better every single day. So how can you apply this mindset in your own life? Start by redefining your relationship with your work, your goals, your daily activities. Instead of seeing them as means to an end, start seeing them as opportunities for growth, for learning, for becoming the person you want to be. If you're in sales, don't just focus on hitting your quota. Focus on becoming a better communicator, on understanding your customers better, on providing more value in every interaction. If you're a manager, don't just focus on meeting targets. Focus on becoming a better leader, on developing your team, on creating an environment where people can do their best work. If you're trying to get in shape, don't just focus on losing a certain number of pounds. Focus on developing healthy habits, on becoming more active, on nourishing your body with good food. If you're learning a new skill, don't just focus on reaching a certain level of proficiency. Focus on the joy of learning, on the satisfaction of making progress, on the excitement of discovering new things. In every area of your life, look for ways to fall in love with the process. Find joy in the journey. Appreciate the opportunity to grow, to learn, to become better. Because when you do this, something magical happens. You stop seeing your work as a burden and start seeing it as a privilege. You stop dreading challenges and start welcoming them as opportunities for growth. You stop being impatient for results and start savoring the journey itself. This shift in perspective can transform your entire life. It can turn mundane tasks into opportunities for mastery. It can transform setbacks into stepping stones. It can make every day an adventure in personal growth and self-discovery. Consider the simple act of making your bed in the morning. To many, it's a chore, something to be rushed through or avoided altogether. But to someone focused on the process, it becomes an opportunity. An opportunity to start the day with an accomplishment, to practice attention to detail, to create order in your immediate environment. Suddenly, this simple task takes on new meaning. It becomes a small but significant step in becoming the person you want to be. Or think about your daily commute. For many, it's dead time, a frustrating necessity to be endured. But what if you saw it differently? What if you viewed it as an opportunity to learn through audiobooks or podcasts, or a chance to practice mindfulness and prepare mentally for the day ahead, or even as a time to brainstorm creative ideas? By focusing on the process, you can turn even the most mundane parts of your day into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. This mindset shift doesn't just apply to everyday tasks. It's equally powerful when facing major challenges or working towards significant goals. Let's say you're starting a new business. The results-focused approach would have you fixated on profitability, on hitting certain revenue targets. And while these are important, they can also be overwhelming, especially in the early stages when progress might be slow. But if you focus on the process, everything changes. Instead of stressing about the bottom line, you focus on providing value to your customers. You concentrate on improving your product or service a little bit every day. You dedicate yourself to learning about your market, refining your business model, building relationships with customers and partners. You find satisfaction in solving problems, in overcoming obstacles, in gradually building something meaningful. This approach not only reduces stress and increases enjoyment, but it also typically leads to better outcomes. Because when you're focused on the process, you're more likely to make decisions that are good for the long-term health of your business, rather than chasing short-term gains at the expense of sustainable growth. The same principle applies in personal relationships. If you're solely focused on results, on getting someone to like you, or on reaching some relationship milestone, you're likely to come across as inauthentic or pushy. But if you focus on the process of building a genuine connection, of being a good friend or partner, of improving your communication and empathy skills, you're much more likely to develop deep, meaningful relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of focusing on the process is that it puts you in control. You can't always control outcomes, but you can always control your effort, your attitude, your commitment to growth and improvement. This sense of control is incredibly empowering. It allows you to find satisfaction and maintain motivation even when external results are slow in coming. If your sense of success is tied solely to external outcomes, you're at the mercy of factors beyond your control. Market conditions, other people's decisions, plain old luck. All these can impact your results. But if your sense of success is tied to your own efforts and growth, you always have the power to succeed. You can always choose to show up, to give your best effort, to learn and improve. This doesn't mean ignoring results altogether. Results are important. They give us feedback. They help us gauge our progress. They often determine the practical outcomes in our lives. But by focusing primarily on the process, we create a resilient, sustainable approach to success. We develop the skills, habits, and mindset that allow us to achieve great results over the long term, while also finding fulfillment and satisfaction along the way. So how do we deepen this process-focused mindset? How do we ingrain it so deeply that it becomes our default way of approaching life? Here are some additional strategies to consider. Practice gratitude for the journey. Each day, take a moment to appreciate the opportunities you have to learn, to grow, to become better. Be thankful not just for your achievements, but for the challenges that are helping you grow, for the lessons you're learning, for the person you're becoming. Reframe your self-talk. Instead of asking, "Did I succeed?" ask, "Did I give my best effort?" instead of "Am I good enough?" Ask, "How can I improve?" This subtle shift keeps your focus on what you can control and promotes a growth mindset. Celebrate small wins. Don't wait for big achievements to feel successful. Celebrate the small victories along the way, the daily habits maintained, the lessons learned, the incremental improvements made. These small wins compound over time to create major changes. Embrace discomfort. Growth often involves stepping out of your comfort zone. Instead of avoiding discomfort, learn to welcome it as a sign that you're pushing your boundaries and growing. Practice self-compassion. Remember that the process of growth isn't always smooth. There will be setbacks, mistakes, days when you fall short of your own expectations. Instead of beating yourself up, treat yourself with kindness and understanding. Use these moments as opportunities to learn and recommit to the process. Regularly reassess and adjust your process. While the focus is on the process rather than the end result, it's still important to make sure your process is effective. Regularly take stock of your methods and strategies. What's working well? What could be improved? Be willing to adjust your approach as needed. Share your journey. Don't keep your focus on the process to yourself. Share your approach with others. Not only can this help inspire and motivate those around you, but articulating your philosophy can help reinforce it for yourself. Find role models who embody this mindset. Look for individuals in your field or in life in general who exemplify a process-focused approach. Study their habits, their attitudes, their ways of dealing with success and setback. Let their examples inspire and guide you. Create reminders, put up quotes. Create a vision board, set reminders on your phone. Whatever works for you to keep your focus on the process when you're tempted to fixate on results. For each other's. One of the best ways to deepen your own understanding and commitment to a process-focused mindset is to teach it to others. Look for opportunities to mentor others, to share this philosophy with your team, your children, your friends. As you implement these strategies, you likely find that this mindset begins to permeate every aspect of your life. You'll start to see every experience, every interaction, every challenge as an opportunity for growth. You'll develop a deep sense of purpose that goes beyond any single goal or achievement. This is not to say that the journey will always be easy. There will be times when you're tempted to fall back into a results-focused mindset. Times when progress seems slow, when challenges seem overwhelming, when others around you seem to be achieving more rapid success. In these moments, remind yourself of why you've chosen to focus on the process. Remember that true, lasting success is not about a single achievement, but about who you become along the way. Remind yourself that by focusing on the process, you're not just working towards a goal, you're building a lifestyle of continuous growth and improvement. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. The goals you're working towards today may or may not have been achieved. But if you've spent those 5 years focused on the process, on showing up every day, on giving your best effort, on constantly learning and improving, think about who you will have become. Think about the skills you'll have developed, the knowledge you'll have gained, the strength of character you'll have built. That growth, that evolution of self, is the real reward. It's what will allow you to tackle whatever challenges come your way, to seize new opportunities, to live a life of meaning and purpose. And ironically, it's also what will make you most likely to achieve the kind of results that seem so important at the outset. So I challenge you, starting today, shift your focus from results to process. Fall in love with the journey of becoming. Embrace the challenges, savor the learning, appreciate the daily opportunity to grow and improve. Find joy not just in reaching your destination, but in each step along the way. Remember, life is not about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning to dance in the rain. It's not about reaching a final destination, but about growing, evolving, becoming. It's about waking up each day with a commitment to be a little bit better than you were yesterday. You have within you limitless potential for growth and achievement. But that potential is not realized through a single monumental effort or a moment of brilliant success. It's realized through consistent, dedicated effort over time. It's realized through a commitment to the process of becoming the best version of yourself. So embrace the process, trust in it. Give yourself fully to it, because when you do, you'll find that the journey itself becomes the reward. You'll discover a sense of purpose and fulfillment that goes far beyond any external measure of success. Your life is a grand adventure in becoming. Every day is a new chapter, a new opportunity to grow, to learn, to become more fully yourself. Don't rush through it in pursuit of some future achievement. Don't wish it away, waiting for some perfect moment. Instead, immerse yourself fully in the here and now. Find joy in the process of growth and self-discovery. Remember, the master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried. The path to mastery, to success, to fulfillment is not a straight line. It's a series of ups and downs, of challenges and triumphs, of lessons learned and skills honed. Embrace every part of this journey. Let it shape you, strengthen you, transform you. As you leave here today, I want you to make a commitment. A commitment not to some distant goal or grand achievement, but to the process of daily growth and improvement. Commit to showing up each day, to giving your best effort, to learning from both your successes and your setbacks. Commit to falling in love with the process of becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you do this, when you shift your focus from results to process, you unlock your true potential. You open yourself up to a life of continuous growth, of deep fulfillment, of true success. You become not just an achiever of goals, so go forth with this new perspective. Embrace the process, fall in love with the journey, and watch as you transform not just your results, but your entire life. The power is within you. The time is now. Your incredible future is waiting. Go out there and create it one step at a time, one day at a time, fully immersed in and appreciative of the beautiful process of becoming.